welcome to Late Night Hobbies. I'm Tony.
I'm Cody.
Willis, I believe you have a special attachment to the subject of tonight's stream because the female gendered individual that you hang out with on a regular basis plays this army as well.
Yeah, I wouldn't go that far with it.
Is she still in the background arguing about the GT?
No, she was. Yeah. So I've played this faction a little, but yeah, I'm not gonna pretend to love playing the faction or anything. But I do plan to play them because we have 3,000 points this year.
And you can put a Knight Porphyrion in it too.
Yeah, that's a cool thing they have is, they are Imperium, so you can just, put random crap in it.
But anyway, obviously, we're talking about the Adepta Sororitas, the sister battle. They are probably an underrepresented army in the competitive because they do play really well in the right hands. And a lot of that is just because they've got a very strong army rule. But from doing research for this stream today, kind of in the same vein as Tau, they lack a lot of strength and AP, in my opinion.
Yeah, so they're an interesting army because, that like me and Ryan were talking about it today, they lack a lot of that quote unquote power you need. But let me tell you, an army full of Meltas with the ability to just say, yeah, this one wounds, yeah, this one's 8 damage. It's pretty nice. It hits pretty hard. It's low key. You won't expect it until you get hit by this Melta that's just guaranteed to go through, and then bang, 8 damage.
Yeah. I agree.
Do what?
Their army rule, Willis.
So we will kick them off. Their army rule. So it is called the Axe of Faith. So if your army faction is Adepta Sororitas, each unit from your army with this ability can perform 1 act of faith per phase. This is done using miracle dice. So the way you gain these miracle dice, if your faction is Adepta Sororitas, you gain 1 miracle dice for each of the following. You gain 1 at the start of each turn, so that's each player turn, and each time an Adepta Sororitas unit from your army is destroyed. So every, one of these little trash units we're going to get to, you just throw into something to die, you just get free miracle dice. So each time you gain a miracle dice, you roll 1d6. The number you roll is the value of that miracle dice. This value cannot be changed or re-rolled unless it specifically states otherwise. Keep your miracle dice to one side. This is your miracle dice pool. Blah blah blah. So what do you do with these miracle dice, Tony? Well, you perform acts of faith. So before making a dice roll for a model or unit from your army with the Acts of Faith ability, if you have 1 or more dice in your miracle dice pool, the screen went a little funny. So if you have 1 or more dice in your pool, that unit can perform an act of faith. If it does, select 1 of the dice from your miracle dice pool to substitute for that dice roll. If a roll involves more than 1 dice, example, charge roll or battle shock test, only a single dice can be substituted. The dice that is being substituted is not rolled. Instead, the value of the selected miracle dice is used as if it had been rolled. This counts as an unmodified dice roll of that value for all rules purposes. Each miracle dice can only be selected for substitution once. Once all miracle dice substitutions have been made, remove the chosen miracle dice from your miracle dice pool and roll all remaining unsubstituted dice that are part of the dice roll. You can use miracle dice when a unit is performing an act of faith for any of the following types of dice roll. So one thing people get, kind of quote unquote confused on is they think you can sub miracle dice for anything, but it does have a select set of things you can do. Right. So one is advance roll, a battle shock test, a charge roll, a damage roll, a hit roll, a saving throw, or a wound roll.
Your core rolls are what they can be used.
Core, yeah. If a vehicle's exploding, you can't use a 1 to make sure it doesn't kill your sisters.
Now, a lot of reason why this got overshadowed in the beginning of the edition is because this is basically poor man's fate dice, where it kind of sounds like, oh, you don't get as many fate dice, but you generate them throughout the game. Well, the problem with that is, now you can generate 9 fate dice with Eldari. You used to be able to generate, 15?
15 max.
When you actually read through the Eldari index, there are so many ways for them to generate more fate dice. It just this army roll just is not as good. But now that Eldari has been neutered a little bit, I think that's why they've been given a little bit more of a spotlight, because this rule has become a lot stronger by the fact that the antithesis to it has become a lot weaker.
Well, and I kind of disagree with you, having played a few games with sisters, because if you build your list around kind of getting these things, like, we'll get to them later, but there's some 40-point units that you can get and just charge into crap. And when they kill you, you get a miracle dice. And so it seems, on reading this rule on face value, it seems like you're a little more strapped for these resources than you actually are when you play these games.
I didn't mean to imply that they weren't generating a lot of miracle dice. I was just saying it sounds like you start with less, but you can generate them. I was just making a reference to the fact that Eldari has a lot of tools to generate these as well, in addition to the 9.
No, so you're right.
Overshadow when you're talking about Eldari ending a turn with 20 fate dice, they can make an automatic 6 as many times as they want. Kind of overshadow what sisters were capable of.
Yeah, I mean, on average, you get about, I would say, 20 to 25 miracle dice throughout the course of the game. And obviously, you can manipulate that number if you build things in the list. But regardless, I think, especially with the nerf to Eldari, I think this is the best army rule in the game, personally.
Well, just because it doesn't. If I read it right, it's not limited to once per phase.
Say that one more time.
I read that right. Is this not limited to once per phase?
Once per phase per unit.
Oh, okay.
So multiple units can use these per phase. So this unit has a multi-melta. This unit has a multi-melta. This unit has a multi-melta. They can all use them.
Pretty good.
Yep.
Pretty good.
So we will get to the detachment rule. So this detachment, it is called the Blood of the Martyrs. So this is more of the 9th edition, what were they called? Martyred Ladies? Whatever they were called. Order of Martyred Lady, yeah. This is basically that detachment. So each time an Adepta Sororitas model from your army makes an attack, add 1 to the hit roll. If that model's unit is below starting strength, then add 1 to the wound roll. If that model's unit is below half strength. For purposes of this ability, if a unit has a starting strength of 1, it is considered below starting strength while it has lost 1 or more wounds.
This is a pretty good detachment rule, just because, to explain it simply, your units will not, as you lose firepower in your units, as your models start to go down, the remaining models, you get a 16% damage buff from the hit roll. You lose another quarter of your unit, you get a 16% damage buff because your wound rolls go up. So you're able to get a more consistent efficacy every turn from units as they die.
Yeah, so this, in my opinion, this rule looks better on paper than it does on table, because once you get to table, you realize that once a sisters unit gets hit, it dies. So you
Well,
don't get benefit from this rule a lot, but there are, obviously outliers to that. Like, oh, I have a tank. Sure. But
oh god, I wasn't even thinking about a tank. A tank on half, and there's one tank in particular I read through. I'd love to get that boy on half wounds.
yeah. So we will go straight into stratagems. You want me to do stratagems, you do enhancements, or vice versa, Tommy?
I'll jump into the stratagems. Let's take a look at what we got here. Divine intervention. I'm not going to make any jokes this stream. 1 CP.
Thank you.
It's an epic deed in any phase. Target one Adepta Sororitas character unit from your army that was just destroyed. Use this stratagem on that unit even though it was just destroyed. Set up the last destroyed model from your unit back up on the table as close as possible to where it was destroyed and not within engagement range of any enemy units. That model is set back up with the number of wounds remaining equal to the number of miracle dice that you discarded. But you cannot select Saint Celestine as the target of this stratagem, and you cannot select the same character as the target of this stratagem more than once per battle.
Yeah, so this is one of the best strats in the game.
There are a couple of characters that this is pretty fucking valuable for.
One comes to mind that you couldn't do in 9th edition, and that is my favorite sister character, Morbin Vol.
Doesn't she already resurrect?
No, that's Celestine. That's why you can't use a strat on her.
That would be wild. Celestine standing up twice.
Yeah, double stand up.
Light of the Emperor. This is a 1 command point battle tactic in your command phase. Target one Adepta Sororitas unit from your army that is below its starting strength. For the purposes of this stratagem, if the unit's starting strength is 1, it is considered to be below starting strength when it has lost 1 or more wounds, which you're going to hear that a lot, so we're not going to repeat that, because generally I believe it's even in the core rules that a single model unit is considered below starting strength when it's lost wounds, so we're not going to repeat that every time.
Correct.
Until the end of your turn, your unit can ignore any or all modifiers to its characteristics and or any roll or tests made for it. This is the Catan killer. You're talking about those Meltas you can auto 8 damage on, and now they ignore modifiers. What?
Yeah.
That's
yeah, I mean, it's pretty solid.
Is a wild stratagem. Oh my god. Holy Rage for 1 CP. It's a strategic point in the fight phase. Target one Adepta Sororitas unit from your army that has not been selected to fight this phase, and until the end of the phase, each time a model in your unit makes a melee attack, add 1 to the wound roll. Dude, they're popping out some banger stratagems right here. What? What?
Well, so this strat, so I'm going to go ahead and give you a little spoiler. This strat is going to get moved to the Bloody Rose detachment when that happens. And boy, when sisters actually get melee back, this strat is going to pop.
I don't understand. Can you elaborate?
Well, so the Bloody Rose detachment is it was the melee detachment of 9th edition. And so obviously when they get a codex, they will get that detachment.
Oh, I got
it. Kind of like Tau got Montca, and some of the stratagems just got moved around. I think this one will just, copy and paste it right into Bloody Rose, and it's going to slap.
Okay. Spirit of the Martyr. 2 CP strategic ploy. In the fight phase, just after an enemy unit has selected its targets, target 1 Adepta Sororitas unit from your army that was selected as the target of 1 or more attacks of the attacking unit. Until the end of the phase, each time a model in your unit is destroyed, if it is not fought this phase, do not remove it from play. The destroyed model can fight. Blah, blah, blah. It's a fight on death stratagem for 2 CP.
I think you'll see the same thing with this. And we'll obviously get to the data sheets a little later. but sisters kind of lack melee punch at the
I was gonna,
moment.
this stratagem is less valuable only because it's 2 command points, and as we go through it, you're going to see there's not really a lot of really threatening units for you to use this on.
Yeah, there's one unit in particular that we'll get to that both of these strats are fantastic on, but that's one unit.
So, Hollowed Suffering and Sacrifice for 1 command point at the start of the fight phase. Select 1 Adepta Sororitas Infantry or Adepta Sororitas Walker unit from your army. Till the end of the phase, each time an enemy model within engagement range of your unit selects targets, it must select your unit as the target of its attacks. This is literally a provoke stratagem. That's so fucking cool.
Yeah, you can get pretty cheeky with this because some really dirt cheap units have this Walker keyword that we'll get to, and yeah, it's pretty nice.
The other thing is that there is some pretty cheap character keyword units that you could potentially, if you've got the command point reservoir, heroically intervene and then use this stratagem and completely force an entire unit of custodian guards to kill a 40-point character that's by himself.
Yeah, this is even like you think of the like deep level plays you can make with this of like I'm gonna charge my shooting unit of sisters onto this objective to steal it from you. I'm also gonna charge this 50-point little dickhead into you, and you're not gonna be able to kill me to keep me from OCing you because you're gonna have to fight him.
This is wild. This is actually a crazy good stratagem. Oh my god.
Yeah, there's some definite tech to a lot
That
of these.
that is a phenomenal stratagem. I'm liking sisters already.
I'm telling you, like you can ask Kat. There was a stretch where I was really excited to play sisters, and then I just haven't actually done it.
Rejoice Fallen is the one strategic ploy in your opponent's shooting phase just after an enemy unit has resolved its attacks. Select 1 Adepta Sororitas unit from your army that had 1 or more of its models destroyed as the result of an attacking unit's attacks. The effect is your unit can shoot as if it were your shooting phase, but can only target the enemy when doing so, and only if it is an eligible target. What the fuck is going on with these This is like the best selection of stratagems I think I've read in my life.
Yeah, nice little shoot back, and keep in mind like you have miracle dice at your disposal. So yeah,
This is one of the best selections of stratagems in the game.
So you remember those? I don't know how deeply you looked at the stats I sent out earlier today, but you can see why. And so, for reference, for those listening, if anybody factoring in the top 84 percentile of players, sisters have the number one tied for the number one win rate in the game. And they're tied with Necron.
And it's because they've got some serious tech in here. This is incredible.
Yeah.
With the right list in the right hands, the kinds of cheeky things, and there's only one stratagem that's tied to a keyword. The rest of these stratagems just require Adepta Sororitas, which means there's so much potential here. And the fact is, with a lot of armies, your tech is tied to units, which means the opponent can counter it. But the fact that all of this tech is tied to 1 CP stratagems that aren't battle tactics for the most part means, wow, I'm blown away. This is like, I'm really blown away.
This is why, like, Josh was kind of pushing for me to play sisters at teams.
This is a dangerous list of rules if you are unprepared with how to deal with them. I'm glad I've put them on the table before, because until now, I had no idea they had access to rules like this. That's the only army. I just can't stop thinking about it. There is literally a 40-point Pinsant little character that's like a fine cast resin model. I think he's 40 points that you could heroically intervene, and then when custodian wardens charge into one of your units, heroically intervene this guy, and then just 1 CP, the entire unit of wardens and Trajan now have to attack this little cunt. And then all their attacks are wasted. What the hell?
Yeah, honestly, reading this again makes me want to play sisters again. I'm telling you, I have this fit come over me like once every like 3 or 4 months then I'm like, I'm gonna fucking start playing sisters, and then I never do. But
Well, and you're gonna find real quick that while they're gonna struggle to punch themselves out of a wet paper bag in some cases, their units are cheap.
I
But
disagree.
from what I've seen, I will say this list can kind of struggle with assassination as a tactic, as a fixed missing, the same way that Tau could struggle with bring it down, because a lot of things that you really want to take are going to have the character keyword, and I can see a lot of sisters lists running a lot of characters, and that might be a risk that you want to take.
Yeah, you start every sisters list with like 5 characters minimum. Like there's just 5 auto takes. We'll get to them, but like,
And at that point, I would say just embrace it the same way with Tau.
100%, 100%.
Nothing
You
you
just
can do
lean
about it.
into it. Take all the good ones, and you just laugh at your opponent if they take assassinate because you'll just still beat them.
If you want to read the enhancements, I'm going to try and find this little cunt, this little pissant. What the hell was his name? Oh, it's literally a preacher. It's a fine cast model of just a guy holding a crucifix, and he's 40 points, and he can do that. He can just shut down our unit of wardens.
Brother, there are cheaper ones than that. We'll get to them. There are cheaper people you can use than that.
You think? For real?
I know there are. Yeah, I know they have a 35-point character.
Oh my god! I just can't.
Yeah,
I didn't realize the missionary was a character. You're right. They have a 30-point character.
Yeah. Even
That's
some
wild.
of their good, some of their good characters are like 30 and 40 points. Like, I mean, yeah, it's ridiculous.
That is wild.
But, so we got some enhancements. And boy, you got excited about the army rule. You got excited about the strats. They've got some good enhancements too. So the first one is called Saintly Example. So this is an Adepta Sororitas model only. When the bearer is destroyed, you gain an additional D3 miracle dice.
And you put that bad boy on a priest for 30 points.
I'll get to who you get to put it on. But there's some cheeky combinations.
Which, mind you, that means that when the bearer is destroyed, at minimum, you gain 1 plus D3 miracle dice.
Yeah, additional. So yeah, totally. Yeah, they are pretty good. Making sure I have my sister's list I played with. Still up. Yeah. Okay.
Next one's really wild too for a lot of the walkers. Golly.
So, Blade of Saint Eleanor. So an Adeptus Sororitas model only. Add 1 to the attacks, strength, and damage characteristic of the bearer's melee weapon. If the bearer has lost 1 or more wounds, add 2 to the attacks, strength, and damage characteristics of the bearer's melee weapons instead.
What in the order?
I'm going to go ahead and do a little spoiler, just because I feel like it's good to talk about this now. So there's a character in the sisters. It's called just a basic little Palatine. However you pronounce it. Palatine. So she is a 50-point character. So you put this 15-point enhancement on her, making her a 65-point character. So off the rip, just putting this enhancement, she has 5 attacks, hitting on 2s at strength 5, AP 2, 3 damage. Okay? While she is leading a unit, she gives the unit lethal hits ability. So she's 5 attacks, strength 5, lethal hits of damage 3, AP 2. Each time this model is selected to fight, you can discard 1 miracle dice. If you do, until the end of the phase, each time a melee attack made by this model scores a wound, the target of that attack suffers 1 mortal wound in addition to any normal damage.
What?
So, this is a little pissant character that I can just, I have this one in my Miracle Dice pool that I'm not going to use it for anything anyways. I'll discard it. So now every time I make a wound roll, you're going to take a mortal in addition to her damage 3 attacks.
Well, potentially damage 4.
Yeah. So another little beautiful thing you can do with this. So she's 3 wounds. Okay. So she dies. So she goes in, she fucks something up. She dies in return.
Stand her back up
You pay the CP. You stand her back up with 2 wounds instead of 3. Now she is damaged 4 with this ability skill.
Oh
and the mortal thing is not attached to leading a unit, so you can stand her back up and still do it.
So it's a 5 damage.
Yeah, basically, yeah. Like, I mean, this chick is fucking bonkers for 65 points.
The good Marshal's looking like the bad Marshal right now.
Like, she's exciting. Like, let me tell you.
Golly.
Clay plays in the chat talking shit about sisters winning. Clay, you're not in the team chat because you're not able to go to Valdosta. So I shared this in the team chat, and I'm gonna go ahead and cover this now, Tony. So since the data slate, Adepta Sororitas have the 4th best winning percentage in the game. They have a 53% win rate. In the hands of top players, so if you factor out the bottom 16% of players, they have a 74% win rate tied to Necrons.
Yeah, they're pretty. I can
kind
of.
This is a real this is a real army. People see. Do what?
This ain't your mama's army.
No, like people see the data sheets, like you said earlier. They're going to struggle to punch. Like this army does not struggle to punch. If you go into a game against sisters with that as your mindset, you will lose. I promise.
Well, I'm going to be honest with you. This is one of those armies where there are definitely armies in this game that are not complicated. They are not techie. And if you know the game well, you can beat them without a lot of experience. Knowing the things in a very short time I've just learned, if I'd have fought this army any day before now, I'd have lost. You need to research this matchup something hard because the kind of shit that they're going to be able to pull out of their ass is wild.
Yeah, and not only from you playing them point of view, but also from your opponent point of view, this is a very complicated army to maximize. Because at the end of the day, half the army is toughness 3-1 wound that will die to a stiff breeze. So you have to really maximize your opportunities to trade and that kind of thing.
This is probably the most technical army we've covered on our podcast yet.
Yeah, I think they have very much potential to probably be the most technical army in the game. Willis, to get the most out of them.
You could probably beat World Eaters every time with this, just because I will literally put a 40-point character into Angron every turn and just never kill him.
And I'll get a Miracle Dice for
it. Oh my god!
No, I'm telling you,
I can the same character back up and do it again.
I've played 2 games with sisters. I played one into Ironstorm Templars and absolutely dumpstered them. And then I played another game into, I think I played Grant with them. I think it was Space Wolves, and it wasn't a fair fight.
I mean,
this army will murder stuff if you let it. But we'll get to that a little later.
Willis, our chat's not showing up on the stream. Have you noticed that?
I did just notice that. Hold on.
He's never prepared.
I don't understand why it's not.
We got 4 viewers. You're throwing it, Willis.
Man, I literally I have no clue what's going on.
Well, while you fix that, I'm going to move on to the last enhancement.
We have 2 more.
Litanies of Faith for 25 points. An Adepta Sororitas model only. At the end of your command phase, if the bearer is on the battlefield, you can reroll 1 miracle dice from your miracle dice pool and return it to your miracle dice pool with the new result you rolled. While doing so, if the bearer has lost 1 or more wounds and is leading a unit that is below half strength, or is leading a unit that is below half strength, you can reroll up to 3 miracle dice this way instead. Golly! These enhancements are incredible! Yet again, folks, like we were talking about before, the fact that you can resurrect these cheap characters and select how many wounds they have means the first time one of your characters out of a unit is destroyed, you could just set it back up on the battlefield, and now you can automatically cause this enhancement to pop up where you're re-rolling 3 of your shitty miracle dice every turn and trying to roll for a better number. These enhancements are fantastic. So moving on to the Mantle of Ophelia for 20 points. You can equip it on a Canoness or Palatine model only. Each time an attack is allocated to the bearer. Okay, hold on to your hats. Each time an attack is allocated to the bearer, change the damage characteristic of that attack to 1. Oh my god. Magnus can't even one-shot a Sororitas character. This, golly, imagine getting hit by a volcano cannon that's D6 plus 8, and it only deals 1 damage because you're Adepta Sororitas.
Yeah,
it's fucking wild.
And it's crazy that, like, you know, you're not going to take all 4 of these, but you would if you could, probably.
Yeah, you would if you could. This is the best attachment in the game. I just can't believe these rules are such consistent bangers. We were talking about how good I thought Mont Ka was, but even Mont Ka had some things that were kind of not super relevant in the game. But all of these stratagems are fantastic. All of these enhancements are fantastic. Willis, what are you doing?
I have no clue, man.
Fucking it up. Get that out of here. You're making the stream worse. We're losing viewers, Willis, because you're fucking up. Willis! Fix it.
I can't get chat to work.
Well, chat's not going to show up on stream, guys, because Willis is I will try and fix it tomorrow when I'm at the shop.
Yeah, I have no clue what happened.
Yeah. Embarrassing.
Thanks a lot, Obama.
Did you look at your plugins? Just make sure it's the top. You know what? Don't fool with it because you're gonna make it worse.
How do you get to the URL of the chat to copy and paste it?
It's like Streamlabs. No, not Streamlabs. It's Look, we can't fix it right now. Let's move on.
Okay, all right. So we're gonna get into some data sheets. So I'm gonna take the first one.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm just letting you know I'm covering tanks.
Okay, cool. So we are going to start with the Morvenval. So Morvenval she moves 8 inches. She's toughness 6. She has a 2-up save with a 4-up invuln. She's 8 wounds, leadership 6, OC 2. So she has 2 different ranged weapons. She has the Fidelis. It is sustained hits, 3 shots, 36-inch range, hits on 2s of strength 6, AP 1, 2 damage. So her other one is the Paragon Myth Launcher. So she has the Focused or the Blast. Way to do it. Focused, it is 2 attacks, 36-inch range on both of these, by the way. 2 attacks, hitting on 2s, strength 9, AP 2, D6 damage. with access to miracle dice. Just I'm going to keep saying that. So you fail that save. Oh well, that's just 6 damage. Congratulations.
I mean, she's not as good as Farsight, but she's pretty good.
Yeah, okay. So her blast profile is 2d6 shots, hitting on 2, strength 4, 0 AP, 1 damage. So, meh. She has her melee profile, which is the Lance of Illumination. So she has the strike ability, or the strike profile. It is 5 attacks, hitting on 2s, strength 8, AP 2, 3 damage, devastating wounds, with access to miracle dice. Oh, I left this thing on like 1 or 2 wounds. Well, here's a dev wound from Morvenwall. Congratulations. You're dead.
I can't. God damn it.
Her sweet profile is 10 attacks hitting on 2s at strength 5, AP 1 damage. So, yeah, Morvenwall is the Chad of the sisters. Her abilities. So she has Deadly Demise 1. She has the Abyss Sanctum. While this model is leading a unit, each time a model in that unit makes an attack, you can reroll the hit roll and you can reroll the win roll. Did you hear that, Tony?
Yes, Willis.
When she's leading a unit, she is full rerolls to hit and wound with those devastating wound, things. Pretty spicy. Do what?
I was welcoming a viewer to the stream. Says hello.
Hollywood Chainsword
is a monster.
She's the Holy Chainsword. So her second ability is the Righteous Repugnance. Once per battle in your command phase, this model can use this ability. If it does, until the start of your next command phase, add 3 to the attack's characteristics of Fidelis and Lance of Illumination. Tony. Morvenwall hits like a truck.
Well, I mean, not as hard as Farsight, but it's okay.
Oh, okay. She unanimously hits harder than Farsight.
I mean, she's okay.
And don't forget, too, she has access to +1 to wound in melee. And she has access to fight on death. Oh, and when she does die, you just stand her back up for a CP. And the unit she leads is pretty spicy, too. Morvenwall.
So let me ask you this. When you resurrect a model, is it considered to be the same model that was killed or a new instance of the model that was killed?
It's the same model, I believe.
Okay, so she can't use her once per battle twice if she's resurrected.
No, correct. You're right. And Morvenwall is only a whopping 145 points.
Well, she's 55 more points than Farsight, which is kind of why just another
allegedly
point.
In the book. He's 135.
No, okay. Joking aside, there people that say that Farsight's going to go up in points. This data sheet is such an example of why Farsight is not worth 130 points. Shut up.
Don't disagree with you a bit.
God damn it! I don't understand how Games Workshop scales this shit.
Like you look at Morvenwall, honest to God, and I'm not talking. I'm a Farsight guy too. Like my tower painted in Farsight colors. Morvenwall is better than Farsight in every way.
Oh my God!
Like, don't forget too, she has the vehicle keyword, so she can, tank shock just like Farsight. Like, it's, she's better in every way, especially with the strat she has access to, and the fact she can just come back from the dead. You there, Tony?
Yeah, I'm there.
Okay.
Yeah, all that. So is that all of her data sheet?
That's all of her in her glory.
You
want to talk about the Canoness?
No, I don't. I want to talk about these tanks.
Well, okay. So you want me to talk about Canoness?
I'll start with the Castigator. It's not the one I'm looking for, but there's one I'm looking for that is just phenomenal.
The Castigator slaps too. You're screwing up my order. Hold on. We'll just get to the tanks when we get to them.
What?
I don't want to. I'm in the order online, so I don't want to scroll and have to re-scroll.
I don't know what to tell you.
The next for me is the Canoness. So if you don't want to cover her, I will.
Go ahead.
So she is a 50-point character, and boy, whew. So she moves 6 inches, toughness 3, 3 up save, 4 up invuln, 4 wounds, blah blah blah. Leadership 7, 1 OC. So she has a bolt pistol, 1 shot of 401. She has the Brazier of Holy Fire. This is a one. This is a 1-shot weapon. It is D6 attacks, strength 6, AP 1, 2 damage, and it is torrent.
So this is basically the only good grenade that exists on a data sheet. I don't know why Games Workshop can't make grenades useful.
Yeah. I generally don't run this weapon, but it's there. Then she has access to a.
It's a good weapon.
It's a good weapon for sure. I would just rather have her be able to hit in melee, because you have to give up. I believe. Hold on, let me look. I think you have to give up her chainsword for the. What's this thing called? Oh yeah. Oh no. If you keep her with the chainsword, you can have this. I would rather her just have a damage 2 melee weapon, which is what you do.
I guess that's fair.
Only because this is just a once per game. If this was like a use it all the time thing, then sure, I would 100%. But she also has access to a Infernal Pistol, which is Melta 2, 6-inch range, 1 shot, hits on a 2, strength 8, AP 4, D3 damage. And then you can have the Plasma Pistol, which is 1 shot, hits on 2s, strength 7, AP 2, 1 damage, or 8, 3, 2 if you overcharge it. Her melee options. She has the Blessed Blade, which is what I would trade that 1 shot thing for. So it's 3 attacks hitting on 2s of strength 6, AP 2, 2 damage. And then, or you can give her the Chainsword, which is 5 attacks of strength 3, 0, AP 1 damage. Or just a basic power weapon, which is 4 attacks of strength 4, AP 2, 1 damage. So her abilities. She has Lead the Righteous. While this model is leading a unit, each time a model in that unit makes an attack, you can reroll the hit roll. So this is good to pair into the sister units that have the meltas and whatnot, because it kind of guarantees they go through, or at least get the hit through. She then has Emperor's Grace. Once per battle at the start of any phase, this model can use this ability. If it does, until the end of that phase, this model has a 2+ invulnerable save.
This would be really great if you charged it into a unit and then made them put all their attacks into the Canoness.
100%. Because this once per game 2-up invuln does not have the caveat that a lot of these have, or things with 2-up invulns, and you can reroll it. You can fake dice it. When you pop this, she's just not dying.
This shit is wild. Stream's over. This is the best army in the game. I gotta go start painting this instead of Tau.
You can give her her war gear options abilities. You can give her a Null Rod. Models in the Bearer's unit have the Feel No Pain 4+ against psychic attacks. Or you can give her the Rod of Office. Each time. Do what?
The Michael Scott Rod.
Yeah. Each time you select the Bearer's unit as a target of a stratagem roll a d6 on a 4+, you gain a CP.
This would be great like if you charged her into a unit and then activated her 2+ invul and then forced the opponent to attack her.
And then on a 4-up, you just got that
And
CP back. And
it was free.
Yeah.
What the fuck is going on with this army right now?
Yeah, she's a problem. She can't be a problem.
It's she's good, but it's not like she's something like it's not like she's 50 points.
Yeah, no, yeah. She would never be that. Oh wait.
Oh, she's 50 points, you say?
She's 50 points, you say.
This army is fucking wild.
We've already talked. The next character is the Palatine. We've already talked about her a bit. I'll just go over her basic stats. She moves 6, toughness 3, 3-up save, 4-up invul, and 3 wounds. I'm not gonna rehash her, but when you put that enhancement on her, good lordy, good lord. Like for 65 points with the enhancement included, this you're not trying if you're not taking her. What was that, Tony?
I mean, I don't know what order I have to read this stuff in, so you may as well just let me know when we get to a tank.
So the next one is Junith Eruda.
Do you need me to translate from Latin?
Eruda. Judith Eruda.
I don't even see that one.
Junith. Yeah. Junith. So Junith is 90 points. So she is moves 6 inches. She's toughness 4 with a 2-up save, 4-up invul, 6 wounds. Leadership 6, OC 2. Another thing you'll notice, Tony, is like all of these characters have 4-up invulns, and you have access to miracle dice. I don't know if I've said that yet.
I mean, what a world.
Yeah, what a time to be alive. So she has Twin Ministorium Heavy Flamer is her ranged. It ignores cover, it is torrent, and it is twin linked. So it is 12-inch range of D6 shots, strength 6, AP 1, 1 damage.
Which can we just, flamers that are twin linked fucking rock my world. I can't believe that shit.
Yeah, so Junith, we'll get to her abilities as to why you kind of put her in the list. But yeah, she's solid. Her melee is the Mace of Castigation.
Well, castigation. I'm not going to be using her as an offensive piece. She's a powerful tech piece, and that comes in her abilities. So while she's got pretty okay profiles, you really shouldn't be. If you're using them, something's gone wrong.
Yeah. So yeah, I'll finish her data sheet and then I'll tell how I have played with her and how I've seen other people play with her. She's 4 attacks of strength 6, AP 2, 2 damage on her melee. Her abilities are the Pulpit of Saint Hollins Phallus. What a name. What a name. Do I?
Basilica.
Sure. My statement stands. What a name. While this model is leading a unit, each time an attack targets that unit, subtract 1 from the hit roll.
So the important thing here is that it does not give stealth like a lot of things do, which means this -1 to hit will work if you're charged.
Correct. He also has the Fiery Conviction. So if this model is on the battlefield at the start of your command phase, you gain 1 CP. So this, in my opinion, is why you put her in the list.
This just makes so much of the game fucking irrelevant. If you could just automatically, golly, stick her in your golly.
So what I do with her is I use one of the transports that you'll get to cover later to split a 10-man sister unit into a 5-man. So at that point, she's 90 points. The sister's unit is 50 points. So you have 140 points holding your home objective that gives you a free CP every turn. And what this does, Tony, is it allows you to take fixed with no regrets. And sisters are, hey, You've just got all these cheap bodies. Let's just go score some points, baby.
It's orcs with guns.
Yeah.
Well, orcs with invuln saves.
Yeah, that's the big thing. Because you'll notice everything in this freaking index has an invuln. And you have access to miracle dice. Don't know if I pointed that out.
Yeah, it's just, yeah. Are we at a tank yet?
No, we're on the missionary. This is you said this guy was 30 points?
Yeah.
So this little idiot is move 6 inches, toughness 3, 6 up save, but a 4 up invuln. Don't worry. 3 wounds. Tony only knows missionary. Got him. Clay in the chat.
Fuck Clay.
So he has a variety of weapons that none of them do anything. They're all strength 4, 3, no AP, 1 damage, blah, blah, blah. His abilities while he's leading the unit, melee weapons equipped by the models in that unit have the sustained hits ability. I don't even know what this guy can lead. Oh, he can lead Arcoflatulence. So, yeah, that's actually pretty relevant. He has the Holy Piety. Each time this model makes a melee attack, unless the model's unit is battle shock, you can reroll the hit roll.
This is not. Do not lead a model a unit with this guy. I mean,
well, we'll get to Arcoflatulence later, but 30 points to essentially give them sustained hits, not bad. But yeah, I get where you're
30 points as a tech peak. Golly. And there's so much you can do with a single model for man. Whew.
So this little idiot also has access to the grenade stratagem because he has grenade keyword.
He's got a 4-up invuln. This would be
like
so
4-up invuln
annoying.
with access to miracle dice.
So annoying.
Like what a guy. Next, we have the like chattest of them all, Saint Celestine.
Oh.
So Saint Celestine is a whopping 135 points. So Saint Celestine comes in a unit with 2 Gemini Superior. They moved her and the unit moved 12 inches. They're all toughness 3 with 2 up save, 4 up invuln. She is 5 wounds. Each of her little girls are 2 wounds each. She's leadership 6, they're leadership 7, they're all OC 1. So, she has the Ardent Blade. In shooting, the sisters that come with her have bolt pistols. She has the Ardent Blade. It is ignores cover, torrent, 12-inch range, D6 shots, strength 6, AP 2, 1 damage. If that was 2 damage, Tony, whew.
Yeah, I wasn't really super impressed with Celestine myself, but she is really cheap.
Well, so yeah, the 2 guys with her have power weapons, so it'll be 6 attacks total of strength 4, AP 2, 1 damage. She is sustained hit or devastating wounds, 5 attacks, strength 6, AP 3, 2 damage. Dev wounds. So what she has is the deep strike ability. Her first one is Healing Tears. First ability. While this unit contains a Celestine model in your command phase, if this unit is below its starting strength, 1 destroyed model in this unit is returned. So she just heals her little girls with her. Lifeworks. While this unit contains 1 or more Gemini Superior models, Celestine has the Feel No Pain 4+ ability. You hear that, Tony?
Yeah, I did.
4+ Feel No Pain.
Well, it basically is only going to really be relevant for precision.
Yeah. Fair. Miraculous Intervention. So the first time this unit's Celestine model is destroyed, roll a d6 at the end of this phase. On a 2+, that Saint Celestine model is set back up on the battlefield as close as possible where it was destroyed and not within engagement range of any enemy models with its full wounds remaining.
Yeah,
So,
that's weird.
What a world.
yeah, so one thing she's really good at is because she has the deep strike ability, you can drop her into somebody's backfield and she just becomes so annoying to dig out.
Yeah, so I was going to say, if you're going to run Celestine, at least in my opinion, you don't have her lead a unit because the models in her unit are not attached. They're also not bodyguards, which means I would definitely just let Celestine tank everything and not kill the Gemini because that's going to turn her into a 4-up, 4-up anytime an attack is allocated to her. And so there's a lot of things she's just going to be able to tank. And then when she does die, now they become two separate Action Monkey units in your deployment's backfield that still have a 4-up invuln save and fate dice.
Yeah, so I was going to get to that when I brought the Field of Pain, and you said that it would only apply to precision. Well, it applies all the time if you just don't run her with a unit, which you just don't run her with a unit. Like, she just, yeah. I mean, for 135 points to harass your opponent's backfield, like, I get you said her stats aren't that impressive, but compare that to what's generally holding a home field objective, and she wipes it.
Fair.
And then, you have to come deal with this idiot with, like you said, with the 2-up save, 4-up invuln, effectively 9 wounds with a 4-up feel no pain. Like, come on. And
Yeah.
she stands back up when you kill her.
Yeah, she's a fucking problem.
She is annoying.
What's with all these?
All right.
There's only one way to say this. Like, this was an army of nuns. I've never seen a black nun until today. I'm getting a little thrown off as I scroll through these data sheets because I'm going, is this right?
Anyways, we're gonna go back to topic. Why don't you cover this one because the Triumph of the St. Catherine is basically a vehicle. So I don't know if you've ever seen the model, but it's massive.
I have. It's basically just a church that
Yeah,
you put on the.
Yeah.
This is a fortification. I don't know what
that
I'm
moves
looking.
around. It is
Sarcophagus that's yet again guarded by a bunch of black nuns, and a fucking cherub with a gas mask on.
It's a wild world.
What a world!
What a time to be alive.
For 125. This is the craziest fucking thing. Okay,
This thing is so good. Honestly, before you read this data sheet, Tony, if we owned one of these, I would take sisters to teams.
How do you get? Is it hard to get?
It's not hard to get. I just don't know that I would be able to get it in and then build it. Because look at this freaking model.
Look at this.
Like, I don't know that I would be able to get it in, build it, and paint it in time.
You need to buy it through a commission. But for 125 points, okay, you get a toughness 3 model with 3-up save, 4-up invuln. It's got a 6-inch movement, and I know what you're thinking. Oh, that's pretty okay. It's got
toughness 3.
It's got 18 fucking wounds.
18 wounds at toughness 3. Like, what a time to be alive.
I didn't know such a profile could exist. That's the wildest stat check difference I've ever seen in my life. You're like, toughness 3, let's hit it with a flamer. And then you go, what do you mean I got to hit it 17 more times? Fuck.
Yeah.
Wild. So it's got
also OC6.
Yeah, it's literally it's like a fucking better Arminger.
Yeah,
it's like
what a world to live in.
So it's got bolt pistols. There are 6 girls standing there, so they each get to fire their bolt pistols. They hit on 2s, 401.
This melee profile just makes me laugh.
The relic weapons is 18 attacks at 2-up, strength 5, AP 2, damage 1. This shit is wild. Who wrote this?
They were drunk, I'm telling you.
I can't. Anyway, Relics of the Matriarchs at the start of the battle round, and this is the other wild thing. So a lot of units have this ability where they get to pick one of 3 abilities, and that's what they get. So, Relic of the Matriarchs at the start of the battle round, select up to 2 abilities in the Relics of the Matriarch section until the start of the next battle round. This model has both of those abilities, and there's 5. There's 5. There's 6 from. So the first one, the Fiery Heart Aura. When a friendly Adepta Sororitas unit is within 6 inches of this model, if that unit is destroyed, the miracle dice you gain as a result is automatically a 6.
You take that ability every time, every turn.
Censor of the Sacred Rose Aura, which, by the way, if you guys have ever played Blasphemous, everything in this army just sounds straight out of Blasphemous. While a friendly Adepta Sororitas unit is within 6 inches of this model, improve blah, blah, blah leadership, nobody cares. The Simulacrum of the Ebon Chalice Aura. While a friendly Adepta Sororitas unit is within 6 inches of this model, that unit can perform 2 acts of faith per phase instead of 1.
This is the other one you just take every time.
The Simulacrum of the Argent Shroud. While a friendly Adepta Sororitas unit is within 6 inches of the model, add 1 to the attack characteristics of rapid fire weapons equipped by models in that unit. How does that
so random? Yeah, that's so random.
Anyway. Icon of the Valorous Heart. While a friendly Adepta Sororitas unit is within 6 inches of this model, that unit has a Feel No Pain 6+.
Solid.
Well, 1 wound models. Calm down.
Fair.
While a friendly Adepta Sororitas unit is within 6 inches of this model, melee weapons equipped by models in that unit have lethal hits. So that one's that's pretty good.
Yeah.
And it can be attached to, for some fucking reason, a Battle Sisters squad. So if you ever wanted a unit that was 28 wounds, attach 10 fucking Battle Sisters to it, because why not?
28 wounds, 26 OC. Good lord.
Fucking stupid. And what are Battle Sisters, like 80 points?
They're 100.
Okay, so for 125, fuck this game. I can hate this game. The only thing that it could only get worse if, like, she had the fucking grenade keyword.
Oh, well, I'm sorry, Tony.
You're fucking lying.
No,
oh my god,
she has a keyword.
Grenade keyword. She's got the infantry. Why does it have the infantry keyword?
Oh god, I'm done. What a time to be alive.
Why does it have the infantry? This is a fucking castle.
If we have one of these, I might want to take sisters.
Why can it charge through walls?
Oh god, what a time to be alive.
What the fuck?
And she's 18 wounds with a 4-up invuln and access to miracle dice.
And the infantry keyword.
Yeah, what a time to be alive. The little pissant characters you were talking about charging in, just charge this big bitch in. Oh no. You got to fight Travis St. Catherine. Oh, you've only got 10 attacks? Well, you don't have enough to kill her anyway. So
you don't have enough attacks to kill Catherine.
Yeah.
My boy Caddy over here. You're about to go Caddy Wampus.
Yeah. Clay, I completely agree.
I have no words. Who wrote Crisis Suits have the vehicle keyword? This fucking castle with 8 bodyguards, infantry keyword. Fuck games worth.
Oh god. So the next one
model is the I've got one more joke before we move on. I'm looking at this picture. This model is a Renaissance painting.
Yeah, fair. Very fair. So the next character unit is the Demonifuge.
Demonifuge.
That's not how it's pronounced. So these guys move 8 inches. They are toughness 3. One of them has a 6-up save, 5 wounds. One of them has 6-up save, 3 wounds. One of them has a 3-up save, 5 wounds. They both have 4-up invulns, so who cares? They each have a bolt pistol. Then one of them has the Sanctity attack. So, you ready for this one, Tony?
Sanctify me.
So, it is anti-chaos 2+ precision. Eat your heart out, Armin. 4 attacks, hitting on a 2, strength 6, AP 2, 2 damage.
Dev wounds?
Oh, man, I wish. No.
Then why the anti-chaos?
Yeah.
Well,
I guess it's do it.
I guess the idea that you can walk up to a keeper of secrets and go, "Wow!"
Yeah. Here's 4 up in mold.
It's amusing.
It's amusing. The other weapon is also precision. It is 6 attacks, hitting on 2, strength 4, AP 1, 1 damage. So, the cute thing about this unit, I've seen this unit in a couple of lists. You don't see them super a lot competitively, but the reason you see them in the list is they have the deep strike ability, they have the fights first ability, and they are lone op for 80 points.
Yeah, the Daemonifuge, I think it's pretty good.
Yeah. Their abilities, they have the Holy Judgment. At the start of your shooting phase, select one enemy unit within 12 inches and visible to Aetheril Sturm, one of the models. I don't know. That unit must take a leadership test, subtracting 2 from the results if it is a chaos unit. If the test is failed, that enemy unit suffers 3 mortal wounds. Oh, Magnus got left alive on 2 wounds. Hope he can make this 7-up leadership check.
Oh, fuck that. Don't forget, St. Catherine's going to throw a grenade from the grave.
Hell, this guy will just throw a grenade. He's got grenades.
It's way funnier to my building walk through a wall and then throw a grenade at you.
Yeah, fair. Touche. You got me. Mysterious Saviors. You can target this unit with the Heroic Intervention Stratagem for 0 CP, and you can do so even if you have already targeted a different unit with that stratagem this phase. So, I'm just going to heroic these guys in. They're going to fight first, and then you're going to have to fight them. And they're 8 wounds of 4 up in bone with access to Miracle Dice.
Wait, what do they get to do to a stratagem?
They get to heroically intervene for free.
Oh, cool. Pretty good.
So, not a bad little unit.
Are we at a tank yet?
No, I'm sorry, Tony. I'll tell you what, I'm going to skip to the Castigator just so you can read it.
Just let me read The Exorcist.
Okay, you want to read The Exorcist? We'll read The Exorcist.
Yes.
God, I got to scroll through this whole fucking...
Dude, I love the fucking...
For whatever reason, they have the tanks at the very end of this.
Well,
I'm still scrolling. I'm still scrolling if you're curious.
The Exorcist...
I haven't gotten there, Tony. Don't start.
It's toughness 10 with a 3-up armor save. It has a 6-up invuln, and it has 11 wounds. It's 3 OC and a 7-up leadership. So it's not the
Well, so, again, it has a 6-up invuln with access to Miracle Dice, Tony. And what does the St. Catherine model do? She gives you a pool of 6s.
That is true. But let's get to where this shit gets crazy, okay? Now, let me go through the war gear options first. So, this model is equipped with an Exorcist missile launcher, a heavy bolter, and armored tracks. You can choose to replace... it's got a Hunter Killer missile as well. You can choose to replace the Exorcist missile launcher with an Exorcist conflagration rockets. For the record, you don't do the conflagration rocket.
I don't know, Timmy. It's blast, it's heavy, it's indirect, and it ignores cover.
It's AP0. You don't take the conflagration rockets.
Oh, no. I'm thinking of the other one. Never mind. You're right.
So the Exorcist missile launcher, okay? This bad boy is a 36-inch range, okay? It's indirect fire, so it's hitting on 3s, so it's hitting on 4s. But it's heavy, so it's hitting on 4s, now it's hitting on 3s. D6 plus 2 shots at strength 10, AP 2, damage D6. What the fuck? With access to Miracle Dice.
Oh, I got him.
Dude.
I've converted him.
I will literally Put that castle in my deployment zone with 3 of these bad boys and just watch me ruin your day. I just can't. Oh, by the way, that gun is better than a Riptide in every way for some reason. Just throwing that out there. It's strength 10, indirect fire, and I can't shoot you in the face for strength 9. Whatever.
Yeah.
This is not
how many points is it now? Is it 180 now?
I think it's 180. Golly, it's so fucking good.
So like before this last data slate, these things were like 165, I think. And yeah, you ran 3 of these.
I'm still running 3. I'm sorry, dude.
Yeah,
I just the idea of making 3d6 plus 6 indirect fire shots at 3 up, and then every one of these that goes through, I can just make 6 damage, is fucking wild.
Yeah, they're one of the rare indirect pieces that can just like drop tanks from behind a wall.
It's the only thing with the tanks is a tank with a 2-up armor is going to struggle into, because one thing you'll have to consider with the Exorcist missile launcher is because it lacks the ignores cover keyword. You could basically consider it to be AP1.
Yeah, fair.
But there's a lot of things that it's just. I mean, I would love to just shoot this into a unit of custodian guards that I can't even see, and all I need is, I've got a bunch of 3 sitting in my bank of miracle dice. Guess what? Anytime you fail a 4-up, I'm just gonna make one of these guys die from the other side of the fucking table.
Yeah, it's a really good platform. I'm not gonna lie to you. It was so much better a couple months ago, but yeah, it's still really good.
Love it. I've been waiting to talk about it all day.
I'm glad we got you where you needed to be.
Not to mention, it's a rhino with a church built on the back of it, and the missile launcher is a giant organ that somebody is playing.
Yeah, it's such a badass model.
This RP is wild.
So we're gonna go back to the top. We'll go to the Battle Sister Squads now. So this is 100-point unit. They move 6 inches. Their toughness 3. They have a 3-up save with a 6-up embalm. They're OC 2. They are 1 wound each. So in this unit, you get a plethora of weapon options. The 2 that you care about is the fact that they can have a melta-gun and a multi-melta in the unit. So that's 3 melta shots that you're going to get out of each one of these units. So, we all know meltas there. The multi-melta is 18-inch range, hitting on a 4, strength 9, AP 4, D6 damage with access to miracle dice.
Not to mention they can take 3 flamers.
Yeah, you can really get these girls out. Again, like I was saying earlier, like you question the damage output of this army until you've got like 9 meltas pointed at you with a bank of miracle dice sitting there. Like, oh, each one of these failed saves, you're just gonna take 8 damage. Like,
carrying a church through the wall.
Yeah. Their melee options, I think they all take close combat except the leader. You can give a power weapon or chainsword. The power weapon is 2 attacks at strength 4, AP 2, 1 damage. Nobody cares. So they have abilities. They have a cherub, which is once per battle, after the unit has performed an act of faith, you gain a miracle dice. So basically, once per game, you can one of your miracle dice is free. You get to reroll 1. Then they have Defenders of the Faith. At the end of your command phase, for each objective marker you control that has 1 or more units from your army with this ability within range of it, you gain 1 miracle dice. Are you hearing that, Tony?
Yeah, I'm hearing it.
So
I'm hearing it clear.
Yeah, Clay's asking what the minimum you run of these is. I think 3 is probably the number. I think 3. You can say the minimum is 3, but so one thing in my list, I only ran, I think, 2. But the reason being, one of the transports we're going to get to, you can split the unit. So what I did, I would split the good weapons into one unit and have it like actually go out and kill something, and then the little pissant bolt guns, they just sit on home objective and farm me CP and miracle dice every turn.
I'm buying sisters.
Dude, I'm telling you, I have this like every couple months, like where I like just read sisters again, and I'm like, oh my god, I gotta play sisters. Do I need to play Josh tomorrow with sisters?
Play me tomorrow with sister. I'm trying to practice.
We may be able to work that out. So you only want to cover tanks, right? So I'll do what?
You just can't bring the church.
I don't have the church though.
Thank God.
All right.
Want to mentally unpack it.
Do what?
I just don't want to mentally unpack that in the game right now. I'm not ready.
Tony's like, I got to unpack my own rules.
I don't want to worry about what this fucking square can do. Why?
No, she's a circle. She's on like 100 millimeter round base.
It's like everybody gangsted till the church.
Excuse me. Triumph of St. Catherine is on the same size base as a Greater Demon, and she's infantry. Just pointing that out.
Everybody gangsted till the church start charging through walls.
Clay's asking in the chat if we could combine Kat and Ryan's sisters to make an army. We have enough stuff at the shop to make a relatively legitimate sisters list. I just haven't put a ton of reps into them, and that's why I've been hesitant to like say I was going to think about taking them to teams. However, Tony, if you remember, back when we first made the plans to go to this teams tournament, I said back then I was going to take sisters.
You did.
Do you remember that? Yeah.
Well, your mom can help paint them.
Yeah. I mean, I'll play you with them, Laura. We can look at it. Because these rules have got me back excited about sisters.
Willis St. will now be known as the Kool-Aid Man.
Do I?
St. Catherine will now be known as the Kool-Aid Man.
You need to read the Sister Novitiates, and I'll look and see if St. Catherine is available for order.
Sister Novitiate.
Good Lord.
Kat told me if I order a St. Catherine model, we're going to fight.
Why?
He said fist fight specifically. Go ahead, though. Sisters Novitiates, Tony. Because she's been trying to get me to order her one for a long time.
You're ordering her one right now, and you're just going to use it first.
In my defense, it was out of stock like the entire beginning of 10th edition and end of 9th. I wonder
why it can fucking charge through walls.
In stock.
So the Novitiates, the Superior has a 3-up armor save. The other ones have a 4-up. They're 1 wound, toughness 3, 6-inch movement. They're fire warriors, basically. But they have a 6-up invulnerable save. They have auto guns, which are 24 inches, rapid fire 1 shot, 3-0-1, and they hit on 3s. Auto pistols are the same. They've got bolt pistols, bolt guns. They've got the same Ministorum Flamers, which is a D6 strength 5-0-1 flamer. They've got plasma pistols. They've got close combat weapons. Their melee weapons, they can either take the regular ones for their unit is 2 attacks at 4-up, 4-0-1, and then they can take power weapons, which are 2 attacks at 4-2-1, and they hit on 4, so melee. Each time a model in this unit makes an attack, we roll a hit roll of 1. If the target of that attack is an enemy unit within range of an objective marker, you can reroll the hit roll instead. That's pretty good. It does work in shooting in melee, it looks like, and it doesn't require them to be in control of it, so that's pretty good. They can take a Sacred Banner to reroll advance and charge rolls made for this bearer's unit, which is pretty good. And each time a unit is destroyed by the bearer's unit, you gain 1 miracle dice. So, not terrible abilities. They're 85 points for 10 models. They don't have the melter guns, and their guns are fairly weak, so it's less good than it sounds. But how many plasma pistols can you take in this?
I think you can only take one, but so the thing to do with this, Tony, is so the beat stick of a character, the Palatine we talked about earlier, she can join these guys. So they give the unit full rerolls to hit. Palatine gives the unit lethal hits. And their attacks are AP2. They're only 1 damage, but I mean, you know, you've been preaching to me for forever that, you know, you dump a bucket of fucking AP2s on something and it's liable to die.
Yeah, there's some lessons you learn the hard way, Willis.
Except Custodian Wardens.
AP2 is really one of the most relevant numbers in this game right now.
Especially in melee because you can't get cover.
Oh, yeah. Oh, absolutely. Man, I learned today how your covers keyword was fuck. You get spoiled on it. And then you play one game where you think, I don't need to guide my models. And then you're like, fuck. What am I
it's
doing?
The one game against the army that's army-wide 2-up save. But, hey.
You know, besides fucking Grey Knights. That could have been a Grey Knights game I'd have lost.
That's fair. I don't know. Grey Knights would never in a million years kill a Storm Surge.
Well, fair. Well, unless you're running 5 Dread Knights, which I do want to cover at some point.
I don't think they could kill it then, but that's just my personal opinion.
I'm going to pull up the Dread Knight data sheet right now. I swear to God. 5 Dread.
So while you're pulling that up, I'm going to cover the Imagifier. This is another fantastic character that you just take in the list. So she's movement 6, toughness 3, 3-up save, 4-up invuln, 3 wounds. You don't really care about her weapons because she basically has none. She has a bolt pistol and close combat weapon. What she does, though, is each time you gain a miracle dice as the result of a friendly Adepta Sororitas unit being destroyed, if that unit was destroyed within 12 inches of this model, you can re-roll the result of that miracle dice. So you just kind of put this chick and her unit in the middle of the board in a building, and everything that dies there, she just gives out an army-wide, or, you know, anything that dies, you get to just, I rolled a 1 on this miracle dice, I'll re-roll it. So it allows you to just kind of fish for those good miracle dice. Really good. Then she has the Stanchion of Holy Martyrs. While this model is leading a unit, models in that unit have the 4+ invulnerable save. While this model is leading Celestian Sacrosanct unit, models in that unit have a save characteristic of 2+. So it becomes a 10-man brick of sisters with a 4-up invuln. You there, Tom?
I'm listening to you. It's just the Dread Knight's fucking incredible.
Did you hear what I said about her?
Say it again.
She gives the unit that she's leading 4+ invulnerable.
Oh, great. You know, why not?
And you want to know how many points this little chick is?
45.
She is. Oh, Tony. 45? She's 35.
God damn
it. Oh, God, I love it.
I don't even have enough data sheets in this army for you to make a 2,000 point list in the room. Remember, you can pick 3 of everything, y'all.
Well, so here's the thing. Like Kat was saying before the stream started, when 10th edition launched, so in 9th edition, Kat had a 2,000 point Sisters army. When 10th edition launched, Kat then had a 1,300 point Sisters army.
Ah, damn. That's okay. It was emotional whiplash for me because I had like a 7,000 point Tau army, and then 10th edition came out. It was like a 9,000 point Tau army, and I was like, "Fuck!" And then like 6 months later, it became like a 4,500 point Tau army, and I was like, "What the fuck is happening with this army?"
Next we will do the Dialogus. So not going to cover her. She's a toughness 3, 3 wounds, 3-up save, 6-up invuln. Her abilities are the Loud Hailer. While this model is leading a unit, that unit can be selected as a target of stratagems, even if it is battle shock.
That's a good ability.
Yeah.
Is
So-
it? I was just thinking, battle shock isn't irrelevant enough in this game.
Yeah, I know, right? Her real ability that you take her for is while this model is leading a unit, each time this model's unit performs an act of faith, the result of one of the miracle dice used in the act of faith is changed to a 6. So literally every time you use a miracle dice on this chick's unit, it's just a 6.
Not to mention, it's called stirring rhetoric. She's literally
Yeah.
Sorry.
Let me see how many points she is because I'm not sure.
I've got it right
No,
here.
do you know how many points she is?
Fucking 30 points.
She's 30 points.
Yeah, you're
I
gonna
love sisters.
like they're gonna win assassination, but
You just give it to them. Who cares?
you can literally run 86 characters and it only costs you 400 points.
And the majority of those points are in 2 characters, in Morgan Vol and Celestine.
And they all have fucking invuln saves.
All of them with access to miracle dice. Next, we have the Preacher. Same thing. We're not really going to cover his weapons. His abilities is Righteous Smiting.
Look at this, man. I love this
Yeah.
model.
What a guy.
That's why he costs more points. This is the one that I would charge into units just because the idea of him walking up to a unit of wardens and going, "The power of Christ compels you."
So the Righteous Smiting. While this model is leading a unit, each time models in that unit make a melee attack, add 1 to the wound roll. What models can he lead? Nothing. Oh, he can lead Argo Flagellants too. God bless. So once per battle, his other one is Zealot. Once per battle, in the fight phase, this model can use this ability. If it does, until the end of phase, improve the strength and attacks characteristics of melee weapons equipped by this model by 2. Yeah, nobody cares.
No, so the reason, hold on though, because if you combine it with the enhancement, he could potentially throw out attacks that are strength 9, damage 4. And he gets 7 of them.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
And he's 40 fucking points. What is happening?
Yeah, what a guy.
That would be the most unexpected thing you'd see in a game. Not to mention, that's strength 9 with +1 to the wound roll.
Yeah.
He might honestly be a contender for the target of that enhancement.
Is he better than a Riptide? Who's to say?
Probably. He could probably kill a Riptide. This preacher walks up and spits holy water on my Riptide. It just fucking evaporates.
Oh, God. So next we have Celestian Sacrosancts. They move 6 inches. They're toughness 3, 3 up save, 4 up invuln. These girls slapped in 9th edition. They're a little lackluster this edition. So they can take pistols for their weapons. We've covered them 100 times. Not going to talk about them again. Their melee weapons, though, they can take the Anointed Halberd or the Hallowed Mace. So they are both 2 attacks. They both hit on 3s. The Halberd is Strength 5, AP 2, 1 damage. The Mace is Strength 4, AP 1, 2 damage. So, they don't hit hard enough. But the leader can take the Spear of the Faithful. It is 3 attacks, hitting on 3s at Strength 5, AP 2, 2 damage.
Man, it'd be really good you didn't had that.
Yeah, I know. If the whole unit had that. Whew. While Canoness, Palatine, or Junith model is leading this unit, each time an attack targets this unit, subtract 1 from the wound roll. Clay, the entire army is toughness 3.
Yeah.
Where have you been?
Yeah, it's like this is no, they're not in like Space Marine power armor. They're not bioengineered like Space Marines, are they? They're just like girls in plate mail.
Yeah, they're like, yeah.
They're not power armor.
I guess you could kind of call that power armor, but yeah.
Right, but power armor in the way that Fallout is power armor, not like it's grafted to the body.
Yeah, fair. These girls are 65 points for a unit of 5, so I mean they're dirt cheap, but
right.
So's everything else in the army. Next we have the Hospitaller. This is another one that's just gonna get you, Tony. So, bolt pistol, basically close combat weapons, whatever. Tough 3 is ass. Even with 4+ involved. If my whole army wounds them on 2s, it doesn't matter. You will not have an army, Clay.
Clay,
let's run it.
Your army is strength 5. Sit down.
Facts. All right, so the Hospitaller. She has the Medicus Ministorum. While this model is leading a unit, Tony, models in that unit have a Feel No Pain 5+ ability.
Feel no pain. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
It's fine.
You can do that.
Then she has the Sacred Healing ability. At the end of your movement phase, select one Adepta Sororitas infantry character unit within 3 inches of this model. That unit regains up to 3 lost wounds.
The church is back.
Yeah, so this can heal the church, ironically enough.
I will bodyguard. Does it limit how many times you can use that on the same unit?
Just once per turn.
Okay, we'll literally put 3 Hospitalers to follow the church around and just have it be annoying as fuck.
Yeah, like.
What are you gonna do about it, big boy? The duel's over. 18 attack.
Yeah. And the funny thing is, she can go into a unit that has another character. So if the unit has a Junith, Canoness, or Palatine, she can go into it also. And so it gives those characters 5 up Feel No Pains too. So potentially decent. How many points is the Hospitaller?
Places it says on the ability it can only use it once. Let's see if he's correct.
Yeah, that's what I said, once per turn.
Hospitaller abilities. Oh, he says an ability, a unit can only be affected by this ability once per turn. So yes, you cannot heal 9 wounds on the church.
Yeah, I said that.
I misunderstood what you said.
So, you want to know how much she is, Tony?
How much?
35 points.
That's fine.
It's on brand.
She fucking.
At this point, just take all the characters.
Yeah, literally just an army of characters.
9 characters.
So the next one, in 9th edition, Josh coined the term for this character, Doge Mata. Her name is actually Dog Mata, but
of course he did.
The Doge coin was popular back then.
That's exactly what Elmer Fudd would do.
I thought I saw a wabbit.
That's all wabbit.
So she's toughness 3, 3 wounds, 3 up saves, 6 up invuln. Has a bolt pistol and the Mace of the Righteous, 4 attacks, 3 hitting on 3, strength 5, AP 1, 2 damage. Her abilities, the Executioner of Heretics. Heretics. While an enemy unit is within 6 inches of this model, each time a Battle Shocker leadership test is taken, for that unit, subtract 1 from the test. Nobody cares. Unflinching Determination. While this model is leaning a unit, add 1 to the OC characteristic of models in that unit. So you've got 30 OC sisters.
This motherfucker said Executioner of the Heretics.
Yeah. Whatever.
I wonder how many points it is. Oh, 45 points. That's fine.
45 points. Next, we have the Paragon Warsuits. You want to cover this one? It's technically a vehicle.
And this one, by the way, this one can also be applied as a second character.
Yes, it can.
That's fine.
So, Tony, I'll let you cover the Warsuits as they are vehicles.
The Paragon Warsuits. These are what Mordenval leads, I believe.
Yes.
They are
correct.
8-inch movement, toughness 6, 2-up armor, 4-up invuln, and 4 wounds. So they're just better than Crisis Suits in every way. They've got heavy bolters, 3 shots at 5, 1, 2, and sustain hits. So,
Wow.
Then they've got the heavy flamers that you're used to. They have multi-meltus. They have Paragon grenade launchers, which are 1 shot at twin linked, and they're strength 9, AP 2, damage D3. And then their Paragon storm bolters are just a rapid fire 2 twin linked bolter. The Paragon Warblades make 4 attacks at strength 6, AP 2, damage 2. And the War Mace is strength 12, AP 1, damage 3, which is the strangest profile I've ever read.
Yeah, why is it AP 1?
What I don't understand is they give you the weapon option that has less attacks. It's worse to hit, but it gives you the strength to punch a tank, but doesn't give you the AP to actually hurt a tank.
You just take the sword. The reason being, Morvenval gives the unit 4 rerolls to win. So,
well, I was gonna say just take the sword because I'd rather take the extra attack with the higher chance to hit and the lower chance, wound on 5s instead of 4s. But with AP 1, what are you really gonna put through?
Yeah. So for sure.
That should be AP 3, in my opinion.
The only reason I would consider taking the mace is for the ability for a strength 14 tank shot with this unit.
Fair, but can't Mordenval just be targeted with the tank shock instead?
Yeah, she's only strength 8 though, so just be but still, yeah, I would rather just take the sword.
This unit is eligible to shoot and declare a charge in a turn in which it fell back, and they can be taken in units of 3, and they are 170 points. So they're just better than Crisis Suits in every way.
So I'm gonna tell you a little bit about there real quick. So the unit has 3 meltas in it, 3 of these grenade launchers in it, and then plus Morvenval's grenade launcher. Do what?
You mean 3 multi-meltas?
3 multi-meltas. So that's 6 shots of melta with 4 rolls to hit and wound with access to fate dice or miracle dice. And then, 3 more plus Morvenval's grenade launcher, which is D6 damage. So, I mean, this unit can shoot like a motherfucker, and then it will charge and kill you.
It's fine. It's just better than Crisis Suits. That's fine.
They really are. It's quite funny.
And they've got a 4-up invuln. Well, that's kind of power. Oh, and they've got a 2-up armor. Oh well, Oh, and their toughness 6. Oh well, that's fine. They should
They're
go to
only 4 wounds though, Tony.
They should go to Legends too.
And they have access to. So another thing to think about is, so if you run the swords, that's 12 attacks plus Morvenval, strength 6, AP 2 damage, 4 rerolls to hit, wound, and you have access to 1 CP plus 1 to wound. They will fuck something up.
I hope that they go to Legends when the Codex comes out and they give you 3 shittier versions and say, why are you...
Oh, God. So, next we have the Repentia Squad. This unit was the tits in 9th edition. They are no longer.
Well, this entire army is literally the tits.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty damn good. So, they move 7
I was
inches.
taking a breast joke for the record.
Fair. They move 7 inches. The superior is toughness 3, 3 up save, 6 up invuln, 1 wound. The sisters themselves are a 7 up save with a 6 up invuln, 1 wound. They have the Penitent Eviscerators. So they're 2 attacks each, hitting on 4s. Strength 6, AP 2 damage. They have the Feel No Pain 5+ ability, and their other ability is the Overseer of Redemption. While this unit contains a Repentance Superior, each time a model in that unit makes a melee attack, you can reroll the hit roll, and if this unit made a charge this turn, you can also reroll the wound. So pretty freaking good ability. The thing that keeps Repentia down, in my opinion, is that they are... Oh, wow, they dropped in points. They were more than this. They're only 55 points now.
For 10?
For 5. So 110 for 10. Like, that's not bad.
It's pretty good.
For 20 attacks of 6/2/2 with access to +1 to wound and 4 rerolls to hit wound.
Certainly better than all the other stuff that we've seen.
Yeah, like that's yeah. And they have 5 Feel No Pain, so
I have to make a motherfucker repent up in here.
yeah. So not terrible. I didn't realize they went down that cheap. And they got the grenade ability.
Yeah, it's just like better crisis suits.
Fair. So I'm not going to talk about Crusaders much. They're just a really good unit. They are 25 points, Tony. 25 points.
Wait, per model or?
This is for a unit of 2. It is 25 points.
That's fucking stupid.
So 25 points for a toughness
Why?
3, 1 wound, 4 up embalm.
Just use them as an action monkey.
That's exactly what you do, Tony.
Not to mention they look really cool.
Yeah, like these guys. Yeah, you just 25-point action monkey. Walk them off a board edge. You know, congratulations, you just scored max on investigate signals.
Look at that picture, though. The picture for that guy is literally from the 90s. He's definitely going to let Codex come
Oh,
down.
100%. These are old kids.
Rest in peace.
Then we have so we got another option. So we say you take the Crusaders. I actually think you take these guys.
No.
These are the death.
No.
I'm telling you. So
No.
it's 2 models for 35 points. But these guys it'll be 4 attacks each at 4/2/1 with fights first. And each time a model in this unit makes an attack that targets a character unit, reroll wound, roll a 1. And they have a 5 up emblem.
Oh.
You pay 10 more points, and they can actually like go fuck. Like these guys will kill Crute hounds.
Whoa! Slow down.
Well, my Death Cult Assassins are 10 points cheaper than your Crute hounds.
Right.
How many points are Crute hound?
But the Crusaders are no, they're the same cost.
No, Crute hounds are 35.
Yeah.
Well, Crute hounds are about to go up, so.
Well, I'm sorry, they're 30 points now.
Oh, okay.
But the Crusaders have a 4 up invul, which means there's less a chance they get overwatched when they come in to score your objective.
Yeah, it's half dozen one or the other.
I'm just saying you're objectively wrong.
Okay. Well. Next we have the Dominion Squad.
The Dominion Squad.
So these are basically just a variant of the Sister Squad. They have different weapons they can take, melt the gun, blah blah blah. Their toughness 3, 1 wound, 6 up emblem. Their abilities, they have the same cherub ability that the regular sisters have. Their other one is Holy Vanguard. You can reroll advanced rolls made for this unit. Yeah. So they're just a different variant of sister unit. I don't really think you run these because none of the characters, I don't know if the characters could attach these or not. I didn't pay attention. Let's see.
Man, I'm sure they can, but I didn't see any advance in charge.
Yeah, they can.
I don't think that that ability is very relevant.
Yeah, so yeah. You'd probably just rather take how many points are these guys? Are they cheaper than sisters? Because that may be. No, they're 10 points more. So yeah, just take a sister squad. Tony said, OMG, look, it's Mozart. And yeah, Clay, those Those Repentia Slap. So we have the two variants of the Jump Pack sisters, the Seraphim and the Zephyrim. So the Seraphim are the shooting variant. They both move 12 inches. They're toughness 3, 1 wound with 5 up invulns. This unit has access to Ministorum Flame hand flamers. So the unit, let me check this before I say it. Yeah, so the unit can take 4 of these hand flamers. So it's essentially just 4 flamers, D6 shots each, 4, 0, 1. But they have the deep strike ability. They are 70 points. And the thing that makes these guys good is they have the ability Angelic Ascent. In your shooting phase, just after this unit has shot, if it is not within engagement range of any enemy units, it can make a normal move up to 6 inches. If it does until the end of your turn, this unit is not eligible to declare a charge. So you can drop these guys in 9 inches, shoot something with the flamers, and then move 6 inches.
I mean,
it makes them good for things like behind enemy lines. You screen me very well. Well, I'll just drop and scoot. Or engage, that kind of thing.
they're definitely not a huge threat, but
Yeah, they're not going to kill anything, but they're fine. They're 70 points, whatever. You'd probably rather take other things. The melee variant, they each carry power swords. So there are 3 attacks each of strength 4, AP 2, 1 damage. And each time a model in this unit makes a melee attack, if the unit made a charge move, add 1 to the strength characteristic of that attack. They go up to strength 5 when they charge.
well, I wish it was like Lance, but
Yeah, I agree. And they do have a built-in reroll advances and charges. So, yeah, that's fine. Those units are okay.
and these are 10 points cheaper, so I think these are the move.
Yeah, I agree. Next, we have the Retributor Squad, and we're about to get to the tank. So, the Retributor Squad, let me pull this up in the app so I don't miss it. Retributor, you're right.
Ah, damn, Willis, you speak English.
Whatever. So, this is it's the more shooting platform of the sisters. However, there are 110 points or 105 points for 5 models. Each of them can have a heavy bolter. So there are 3 shots, sustained hits 1, heavy, and they hit on 4, strength 5, AP 1, 2 damage. You can pop a multi-melta in there. Their abilities, they have the Cherub ability, and then they have the Storm of Retribution. Each time a model in this unit makes a ranged attack, reroll a wound roll of 1. So they're solid. I don't know that I would rather pay an extra 5 points and lose 5 models over regular sisters. What do you think, Tony?
No, I'm probably with you on that one myself.
And they're also only OC1, whereas regular sisters are OC2.
That's the main thing for me is I'd rather just take the OC2.
Because we all know AP1 in shooting is AP none. So you got a bunch of strength 5, basically AP 0, damage 2 shots. Like, eh. And it's not even like a bunch to where it's going to like overwhelm somebody. It's only like 12.
You can probably kill a 5-man block of Space Marine.
Maybe, because they're going to get 3 up saves.
Okay, that's true. Yeah, if they're in cover, it's going to be a rough day.
Yeah. But yeah, that's them. Do you want to talk about the... we're getting into the vehicles. You want to talk about the last 2 walkers before we actually get into the vehicles?
Oh, the Mortifiers?
The Mortifiers.
Yeah, see how that sounds? See how much of an asshole you sound like when you can't pronounce easy words?
Oh my god.
It's embarrassing, dude. They're an 8-inch movement. They're toughness 6 with a 4-up armor. 5 wounds, and a 6-up invuln.
And a 5-up film pain.
Okay. So their heavy bolters are 3 shots at 5, 1, 2 with sustained hits 1, so a little better. And they have the Mortifier Flamer as well. They have Penitent Buzz Blades. These bad boys make 4 attacks at strength 10, AP 3, damage 2. Or they could take Penitent Flails for 8 attacks at strength 5, AP 1, damage 1. But let's be real. Take the Buzz Blades. And you can twin them up to get twin linked on either of those. It's got a 5+ feel no pain. Each time a model in this unit makes a charge move, until the end of the turn, melee weapons equipped by models in that unit have sustained hits 1. You can give the unit access to a 3+ armor save, which, cool. And each of these guys are war kitted with 2 heavy bolters and twin penitent buzzblades, so they inherently get that twin linked keyword that makes an attack so threatening. And then you can choose only one model can have a 3-up armor save. So I don't really understand. I would probably just take these as single units because it just benefits you in every way to do that.
So this unit, so there's 2 different variants, the Mortifiers and the Penitents. This is the worst variant, in my opinion.
Okay. But if I was going to run these, they're 60 points a model. I would run them in units of 1, give all of them the 3+ armor, 2 flamers, and then twin Buzz Blades. And then which one's the other one?
The Penitent Engine.
Penitent Engine.
So yeah, in my list, I have 3 solo of this variant. So I do completely agree with you. You just run them solo.
So the Penitent Flamers, they don't have the AP, but they have Assault and they have Twin Link. Wow, that's way better.
Yes, and it's 2d6 shots.
Fucking tough. Well, it's 2d6 shots, but the other one had 2 of d6 shots, so it's the same.
Fair. Same, but it's Assault, which is big with their ability.
Penitent Buzz Blades, they have sustained hits. Did the other one have sustained?
No, the other one gets sustained when you charge. This one just has it innately.
Okay. It's got Feel No Pain, 5+, and it's able to declare a charge in a turn in which it advanced. And it costs the same amount of points. This is just better every way.
Yeah, this little idiot.
Oh, no. I see the difference.
What?
You don't get an invuln save.
You don't get an invuln, but what you get is a 60-point turn 1. YOLO this motherfucker out. It can A, do an action because it moves 8 with Assault, or B, it can go out and just charge something and die and get you early miracle dice. That's what I use it for. I just suicide mission 3 of these, like turn 1 or turn 2, and just let them go die. And that way you get your miracle dice pool going early.
I mean, yeah, it's fair. But I think I don't think the Mortifiers are as bad as you make them sound, just because potentially if you're running these guys solo, they're a 3-up armor, 6-up invuln. And
I just like the advance and charge and assault. It makes them, for the role that I use them for, it makes them way better.
I don't necessarily disagree.
And they can just go kill something with the twin Buzz Blades. I mean, 4 attacks of 10, 3, 2 with sustained hits and twin linked. Like, you know. So next, do you want to talk about the Castigator?
So the Castigator is a toughness 10 tank, moves 10 inches with a 3-up save, 11 wounds, and a 6-up invuln. So C3 with 7-up leadership. It has Castigator autocannons, 48-inch range, 4 shots with rapid fire 4. Hits on 3s at 9, 1, 3, and twin linked. The Castigator battle cannon Is a 48-inch D6 plus 3 blast that ignores cover. Hits on 3s at 10, 1, 3. It's got heavy bolters, 3 shots, 5, 1, 2, sustained hits. It's got a hunter killer missile. Hunter killer missile hits on 2s for whatever reason. And it's got storm bolters. Its melee profile is just a basic armored tracks. And then its ability is Rites of Castigation. Each time this model makes an attack with its Castigator autocannons that targets an enemy infantry unit, you can reroll the hit roll. Each time this model makes an attack with its Castigator battle cannons that targets a enemy monster or vehicle, you can reroll the hit roll.
So I think the battle cannon on this, the big thing is it's only AP1, but it ignores cover. So
why have they written the rule like that? Each time this model makes an attack with its Castigator, its Castigator autocannons reroll hits against infantry, and its battle cannon rerolls hits against monsters. For some reason, I read that both times as battle cannon, and I was like, "Who fucking wrote this?"
Yeah. So what you can do is the battle cannon. Obviously D6 plus 3. You're going in a monster vehicle. 10, 1, 3, ignoring cover. But the heavy bolter, so it has 3 heavy bolters that are 36-inch range, so it'll be 9 shots with sustained hits and 4 rerolls to hit. So it makes it because of the oh, never mind. It doesn't apply to that. Never
it's only autocannons, dude.
Yeah, that's less good.
Although I would probably take the Castigator autocannon because it's the same damage as the battle cannon, but it's also twin link, so you're rolling your hits and your wounds.
And it's 48-inch range, rapid fire 4. So if you're within 24, you're getting 8 shots.
Right. So I think I'd rather just shoot it not at a monster or a vehicle and just reroll all my hits into some really elite infantry.
Yeah. The only problem, you lose that ignore cover, and so AP1 is irrelevant.
Well, I guess that's true. I don't know. Castigator,
it's only 140 points.
I guess. I don't need to tell you guys what a rhino is. It's a rhino.
Yeah. The Immolator. This is the good one.
The Immolator. This is not an organ. It is the part of the church with the stained glass window. It's got a 12-inch movement, toughness 10. Other than that, everything else is pretty standard with a 6-up invul. It's got heavy bolters, hunter killer missiles. The Immolation Flamers is 2d6, 18-inch range at 611, ignores cover and torrent. It's got twin heavy bolters in addition to his heavy bolters. Okay.
No, so you take either the flamers, the twin heavy bolter, or the twin multi-melta, and then you get the heavy bolter on top.
Okay, and I'm struggling to see the ability fire support. In your shooting phase, after this model is shot, select one enemy unit hit by those attacks. Until the end of the phase, each time a friendly model that disembarked from this transport this turn makes an attack that targets that enemy unit, you can re-roll the wound roll. What the hell?
Yeah, so first off, you put the multi-meltas on this thing. So it's 2 multi-melta shots, they hit, whatever. Then they're twin linked, so you have a better chance of punching up with it. And then every one of your little sisters can then shoot their multi-meltas at whatever you shot at with this and get 4 rerolls to wound also. So it allows you to punch up considerably.
I don't necessarily agree with that. With that kit, he makes 5 attacks. So it's not impossible for you to just not land a successful hit roll for the purposes of what you'd be running this for, take the Flamer. That way his ability goes off every time. For 115 points for a Rhino that gives them reroll all wounds, give it the Flamer. That way they always reroll wounds when they disembark.
Yeah, I just like the. So if you're looking at a Battle Sister squad, they get out with 3 Melta shots. I like having 5 Melta shots with 4 rerolls to wound. You can just like dumpster a vehicle with that.
Full rerolls to wound if you land a hit.
Yeah, but you're hitting on 3s. You have miracle dice.
Oh, okay. Not something I considered either. But
arguably the best ability is its transport ability. If you want to read that, it's on the next, or it's under like the transport because you're on the app.
This model has a transport capacity of 6 models. It cannot transport jump pack models or the Triumph of St. Catherine.
They had to specify that one.
I love that. Is that what you wanted me to read?
No, it's under that.
The start of the declare battle formation, you can select one Battle Sister squad, Dominion squad, blah, blah, blah. If you do, that unit is split into 2 units, each containing as equal number of models as possible. Let's start. Huh.
So yeah, this is what I was talking about. How you can split your 10-man sister into 2 5-man. You put the Meltas in this thing, then you put the bolters back on your home objective, and you've got 2 50-point units instead of 1 100-point unit.
Sisters are really fucking cool.
I don't disagree. The final data sheet, Tony. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
It's the Arcoflagellants. So they move 7 inches.
Arcoflatulence?
Flatulence. I got them. So they move 7 inches. Their toughness 3. They have a 7-up save with no invuln. However, they are 2 wounds each as opposed to 1. And they have the Feel No Pain 4+ ability. So they each make 4 attacks in melee with sustained hits 1 and twin linked at strength 5, 0 AP, 1 damage, hitting on 4s. Each time this unit is selected to fight, you can choose to invoke the extremist trigger word. If you do, then until the end of phase, Arcoflagellant Arcoflails equipped by models in the unit have the attack's characteristic of 6 and hazardous ability. You can basically pump up their, number of attacks, but you give them hazardous, which they can't die from the hazardous anyways because they're 2 wound. Unless you just roll a bunch of them.
What are you talking about? Hazardous against the where it destroys a model when you fail the test.
Oh, yeah, that's fair. I'm so used to your crisis suits doing it. Well, not anymore, big boy.
Yeah, no shit. Don't have to worry about that anymore.
But so in a 10-man unit, it's 150 points. If you use this ability, it would be 60 attacks, Tony. With sustained hits. With twin linked.
It is it's just better than crisis, really.
Like, good dear God. The volume.
If there was a way to put AP on that. Wait, can't you give them +1 to wound?
Yes, with some of the characters. Well, the characters, like, you can give them, you can put a character in here to give them lethal hits. You can give them 1 CP +1 to wound. There's a various amount of buffs. A lot of the stuff I was talking about earlier that I was like, oh, that character can lead Arcoflagellants. That makes it relevant. Yeah, this is that unit I was talking about.
What was it? The Pope that did something or whatever?
Let's see.
You go to the one, I'll go to the other.
Okay.
So the Preacher leads Arcoflatulence. His ability, he gives them +1 to wound.
Okay, just innately. Okay, cool. I'm trying to find the other thing that could lead on.
It's the not the preacher, the other one, the minister. Missionary. So the missionary. Oh, you gotta be kidding me.
What?
he gives some sustained hits once.
Oh. Well, they already have that, so.
They already have that.
Yeah. So that's less good.
Stick
the plus
that
one wound character, though.
Stick that preacher boy in there.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, at the same time, you can use him to lead. Oh, he only leads in the Vitiate squad or the Flatulence. Lead the Flatulence.
Yeah, for sure. But 60 attacks with sustained hits and plus one to wound, like you'll fuck somebody's day up.
Dude, I will kill Magnus the Red. Gets one shot by Arco Flatulence.
And they're not crazy. So for a 10-man, it's 150 points, I think.
Yeah. It's 15 points a model.
Yeah. I mean, that's not crazy for 60 attacks.
We should roll it out. I think if we roll it out, we kill Magnus with Arco Flatulence.
We can look at it tomorrow night. When we put these sisters on the table. Because you've convinced me to play them against you.
Yes.
You really twisted my arm here, but I'm going to do it.
Yeah, I'm sure I did. I've actually never lost to sisters.
You've never played them.
Well, what I said was true. Which, for the record, I'm calling you out. John Lennon has never beaten me in a game of WarHammer.
Boy, did you get him.
That'll
he has
show.
beaten me.
Freaking idiot.
Yeah, because you're not exactly the same caliber of player that I am, Willis.
You're right. You're totally right.
There's a lot of things you say about me, but nobody has more experience with their army than I do because I literally am so brain dead I won't play anything else.
Yeah, I mean, this is true. Like, I've been trying to get you to play Clay's Thousand Sons at teams for the last month. But
even the game we played today doesn't really count because we played like 1.5 battle rounds. So officially, I've never played a game of WarHammer still that I haven't had Commander Farsight in. I mean, I'm just, that kind of rapport with your army. I mean, you just can't argue with that.
Yeah, can't argue with facts, I suppose.
So overall thoughts. What a fucking army! This is
what an art. Like, I'm telling you, man, these stats, they're real. Like, this is Clay was in the chat earlier talking about, but you won't kill anything. Yeah, okay, bud. Let's line that one up.
Well, the second thing is, Clay, the game's won with points. Stop being a dumbass. Not everything has to be the red.
That's why Clay runs his 3 Vortex Beast, because he just wants to murder things.
Vortex Beast and goes, why didn't I score any points?
How did I lose by 30? Clay, we love you.
He literally, in the middle of this stream, he said, +1 win, talking about Magnus. That's one thing that I will say I've really been struggling with is that the changes that they've made have really humbled the damage output from Tau, and I've struggled to adjust from a really hyper-aggressive remove models from the table army to now it's very technical and score oriented, and it makes it real. It's a very, like, the entire way you play the army has fucking changed overnight.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you.
But with sisters, I think that for a horde army, I mean, this is a tough horde army, and there's a lot here.
Yeah,
I think I'm definitely with the indirect fire tanks, starting from there, and then I'm putting several 30-point characters in there just to be distraction card effects for melee threats. Basically follow every valuable unit around with one of those guys. That way, the second anything valuable charges me, I'm going to heroically intervene and make it worthless. The idea of just tying Angron up every turn of the game and making it so that he can't do it. Even as an example, charging Angron in my turn with a 30-point character I'm sorry, I guess that doesn't work. But, it potentially does. Charging him with a 2-up invuln save character, forcing him to attack the character. And then if you can weather the storm, Angron can't move in his next turn or he can't charge.
Yeah.
Like, he has to sit there and be tied up by this. And it kind of defeats the problem of how do I remove Angron from the table without resurrecting him? Just tying him up in this way. I think it's more effective if you do the whole heroic intervention, but that's a 3 command point cost. So it's not something you're throwing out 3 times in one game. But once or twice, that can really turn the tides of the game to just be able to sack something that's really no cost to you. Essentially, the only cost is command points.
Yeah, this is, very fair point.
Very technical army. I will say, as good as it sounds, it's definitely not going to be for everybody because while the skill ceiling is very, very, very high, I feel like the barrier for entry here with an army like this is also very high. Just because you're not going to be able to buy a bunch of these models and just go out there and win with it. Because despite the fact that they have all these strong rules, their stats aren't very high. They aren't really going to, fight into those really tough stat checky matchups without the finesse and the experience behind it. So it definitely needs to be in the hands of a good player that's put a lot of reps in it.
Yeah, you really got to pair the combos of this army in order to maximize its ability.
You have to humble yourself to play this army. You have a few very powerful threats, and if you use them incorrectly, you're going to open the gates to get shit on.
Yeah. If you mess up and lose one of your true assets early, yeah, it could be a long day for you.
It's about to be storming outside.
But yeah, overall, I think it's a fantastic army and arguably one of the best attachments in the game.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I think I don't know. I like Thousand Suns a lot. Oh, you said detachment rule.
That bitch.
Yeah. Just the overall combination of the army rule with the detachment, I think it's one of the best combos in the game.
I don't disagree with that. I think that this is a very, very, very powerful army, and I look forward to seeing what can be done with it. And we're going to see it on the table tomorrow. And for those of you that are watching, which I think is just playing right now, but for those of you that are watching, we will hopefully post the results of that game in the Discord tomorrow. So join the Discord, follow the stream, follow us on YouTube for whenever Kat decides to upload the episodes. I swear that we do. I think the last episode on the channel is 4.
Cat just shot you a bird.
Anyway. Oh, sorry. Didn't mean to call you out on live there, since you're the only viewer, but nobody will see this, Cat, because you won't upload it anyway. Got him.
Well, she's posting something in the chat.
Oh, God. Oh, no.
Before we get off.
Brace yourselves. Oh.
Okay.
Well,
we should have just ended the stream before she got posted.
Oh, that would have been so funny. It would have been so bad. Anyway, guys, I've been Tony. That's been Cody. It's been Late Night Hobbies. And we will... I hate you, Bo. We will either do an early stream, like a Friday or something, because I close my store on Saturday, so we won't be able to stream then. If not, we'll try and do a stream on Sunday.
Yeah. Sounds good. We'll
All
see you later.